From YouTube to smartphones to tablets, technology is just a part of our kids' lives. And like we mentioned, AI chatbots are now part of the mix too.
Yeah, and while parents strive to manage screen time, that can be easier said than done, especially when it comes to kids under 2. So here to help us out is our 9 News parenting expert, Dr. Cheryl Ziegler. Thank you for being here. This is quite an important topic. I feel like something that I'm battling with my children every single day. So you found a study on this topic. First, just break it down for us.
So JAMA released a study last week in which they looked at, in Japan, they looked at a cohort of 7,000 children. And what they found was that kids who, the younger they were and the more that they had screen time, they had 2 major deficits. One was in communication, so their language abilities, and one was in problem solving. So it was literally the more time they had at a younger age, the less communication that they had and the less problem solving ability. And so they looked at it at 2 and then again at 5. So they looked at 2 different times and it stayed consistent with both of those ages.
I mean, it sounds problematic. And 7,000, that's a decent group to be studying. Do you think that this shows this provides or causes developmental delays?
So it's an association. So as opposed to, some studies like, okay, we found out this is the cause of this. This right now is considered, well, this is an observational study because the parents just subjectively kind of wrote the amount of time their kids were on there. But it really does show that there is a correlation. And I think that that needs to be a big red flag. I think there's probably people, speech and language pathologists, that would say, this feels really, really clear to us if they've been working in the field for a long time. And I think what right now, and every single parent who has, or grandparent, who's around raising children that are really young, under the age of 5, it's really to say, follow the guidelines that have been put out there. Under the age of 2, we do not want kids on screens. When you see those little kids and they're zipping around an iPad, that's not cute or impressive or a sign of intelligence. It's really just a pattern that they know. And so what we really want to say is that under the age of 2, the only screen they really should be in front of is just if they're video chatting. I think that's even out there just because we're trying to keep kids connected with grandparents or loved ones across the country. That's not a daily thing. I don't think, a 6-month-old needs to be video chatting, really. But you have to realize that their brains are so primed and open. So they are 6 months or 12 months old, and you put this really interesting thing in front of them that makes noises and sounds. They're going to be very drawn to it at a very young age.
So under 2, no. 3, 4, and 5, what would you recommend?
So 3, 4, and 5, this is the recommendation from American Academy of Pediatrics, World Health Organization. And what it says is that you want to provide 1 hour or less. World Health Organization's a little more conservative. They want 45 minutes or less. And it needs to be high quality content. And so what that really means is it's not super fast moving, the language isn't really, really fast, that it is educational and it is co-watched. So co-viewing really means, I actually thought about this a lot. You don't need to sit there necessarily for half an hour, and just sit and literally watch it with your child. You can do that, but also it could be, you have a load of laundry, you've got a basket in front of you, you're watching almost the way you did on TV, but now, and that's the other thing I would personally say is try to delay a phone or an iPad screen because there's something way too locked in about that. But if you can do the television, let's say in your living room, you're folding laundry, you're prepping a meal, you're doing things like that, and you're commenting, that's the key to making it high quality content and an experience that's very different.
That's good to know.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense because I feel like my 5-year-old will get over on me. Mom, let me see your phone. I'm like, don't watch anything. Don't put on K-pop Demon Hunters. But she's like, this is ABC Mouse or this is this game. But I should be a part of that. That should be a part of the family plan with this, is that we're doing it together.
Yes, you're at least commenting. So in that case, there's a game, right? So now that's a little bit different. But yes, you're popping in and you're saying, oh, wow, look at that. You've got that math problem right. How did you learn to do that? Right? So you're also distracting them from being so zoned in on what's happening on a screen. And that's really what the television or watching a movie together is like. You're laughing, you're talking together. Right. It's a very shared experience. It's not so narrow. So those are some of the things I think really on a practical level. We've been actually, so just this study, it's new, but I've actually talked about these kinds of studies for the last couple of years because we're really seeing language delays in young kids.
Okay, great information. Dr. Cheryl Ziegler, thank you.